I mean, I think a huge amount of it is simply what they're building, which is interesting because it's not physical, right? I mean, this is software. And I guess sometimes when I think about money being spent, I think about things I can see and touch. And this is not quite that. But I mean, it just costs a lot of money to make what they're making. And they've already raised a lot of money and spent a lot of money. And I think that this funding round is really interesting in part because it's making it so that fewer and fewer people can invest in this company, right? I mean, when you got to raise billions of dollars at a very high valuation, that really narrows the amount of people that can afford to do it, right? Many people might want to, but how many people actually have that kind of cash that'll say, sure, sign me up?
It's still a startup though, right? Like this is what's kind of wild.
I mean, yeah, it's still a startup. I mean, I guess it's kind of like, well, what is our definition of startup? And I guess by some people's definitions, you'd say no, but I mean, I guess I still think of it as a startup.
All right. So, okay, it needs all this money. I guess some part of me, like a little bit of a radar goes off or a little like, my hairs go up on the back of my neck. Cause I just wonder, are investors throwing money at a sure thing or as sure as something can be in this new AI world?
No, they're not. But I mean, you can't tell. I mean, I guess you could say, well, OpenAI seems like a good bet. It's a company that's been around for a while. There's a lot of enthusiasm for it. They actually are charging money and getting people to pay the money for their products. So from that perspective, it could sound like it is a good place to put money. But you also have to think about, as an investor, well, when do you possibly want to get any return, right? If you are looking to get money soon, it's probably not going to happen. If you are interested in sticking with it for the long haul, then, and you have deep pockets, perhaps that's the place for you.
Rachel, how would you describe Microsoft in relation to OpenAI?
Sugar daddy?
Oh, okay.
No.
In
all seriousness,
when you said, I thought that was the end of the sentence.
I ask you this because I believe I was reading an article, not from Bloomberg, that described Microsoft as a competitor to OpenAI.
Carol, did you say sugar daddy?
I did. I'm sorry. I know. Am I going to be canceled for that?
You're saying just because they don't, just because of a $10 billion investment, that's what that is, Carol?
Right.
I'm not even going to repeat it.
The reason we are talking about all of this, right? I know. Sorry. Okay. Go ahead.
No, it was funny. I mean, yeah, I think they are in an interesting position, right? Microsoft is both an investor in and a competitor to. I mean, they have their own products. They also use OpenAI's products, and they put money into OpenAI. So I don't know. I feel like that is a question best posed to Microsoft, because they probably would say, we contain multitudes and we are all of those things.
So when does this company go public? Like it's just such an interesting dynamic.
Great question.
Right? Like about the kind of raises that it's doing and tapping Wall Street, but it's got to be dangling that IPO somewhere.
I don't know. So that is something that we're looking into. I'm not supposed to say I don't know, I guess, but
no, that's okay.
You can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure, but it is certainly something that we're keeping an eye out for and wondering about, especially in the coming years. One thing that we do know is that along with this funding round that they're trying to lock down, they are trying to raise a bunch of debt. Mm-hmm. And this is the way that they're doing it is in a way that a bunch of other tech companies have done before going public. So it is possible that that's in the offing for them. I wouldn't be shocked by it. At this time, I don't have any specific indicators that that's coming up on the roadmap anytime soon.
Go ahead.
Well, can I ask you something? Is it possible? I mean, Microsoft is a almost $3.2 trillion market cap company. Could Microsoft eventually buy it, or they don't need to? I'm sorry. We only got about 30 seconds.
No. Oh, no, that's an interesting idea. I mean, it sort of almost seemed like that might be happening in a sense after Sam Altman was ousted and right before he was brought back in, right? Yeah. Like Microsoft was at least extremely supportive of sort of like the formation of a new company. I don't know. I feel like OpenAI's ascent has given it a sense of its power, at least right now, as a standalone company. And I don't know if it would want to be purchased by another company, at least not right now. I think they seem like they're doing a pretty good job on their own.